Hello peeps, welcome to Reddit review r/pro revenge, where a thieving manager tries to frame an employee for their theft and it does not go well for them. Parties involved are store manager Mo, thieving assistant manager Jay, lead assistant manager Travis. This story happened around 6 years ago when I worked for a retail company I will call No-Op. Jay was well known to be a thief by the base staff and some of the lower levels of management. Unfortunately, she was a golden girl to Mo and Travis, and we never had any solid proof. We also didn't get paid off unless it was over a certain amount, which it never was. So, staff never had a real incentive to try and find proof. One of Jay's favorite things to steal were vouchers for money, off products, or shopping because you are just supposed to rip them up and put them in the safe. There was no official way of counting these to return them to the company, so she could use them again in a different store and get away with it. This particular day was Halloween and I was on till 4, the only till with no cameras on it. Mo came up and paid for her shopping with some gift vouchers she had received at a store manager's meeting because the store was doing really well. I served her and no one else touched my till all day because I was the main person on the tills for this shift. We closed up for the night and Jay took the registers to be cashed up. I went out to the pub with friends and had a good night not knowing what was coming up. Okay. The next shift I am on, Mo calls me into the office and tells me that the vouchers she used were not in the safe and she knew that it was my till. She wanted me to return the vouchers and would not press charges or put anything on my file if I just returned them immediately. I, of course, did not have them and testified as such. But she didn't believe me. I went looking everywhere, the bin under the till floor and the bins outside, under the tills and on the floors around the tills, just in case I had dropped them or put somewhere dumb while trying to sort out cash, etc. Roughly an hour later, Jay comes in, hears what's going on, and offers to look as well. She finds them in 30 seconds flat, somewhere I had already looked. I essentially hissed out, what a coincidence, that as soon as Jay looks there, she finds it immediately. How coincidental. Seething with white fury as I knew she was now framing me for her own theft, she could have found them in the office or made it a simple mistake, but no. She made me the fall guy for her own idiocy. I tried to plead my case to Mo and Travis, stating that I wouldn't be dumb enough to steal watches that I knew were Mo's because I was the one who served her. One of the other team leaders, Paul, knew fine and well it was Jay and tried to tell Mo and Travis that I was being set up. But she was the golden girl and could do no wrong while my name was mud as far as they were concerned. Heck, they thought Jay had caught me in the act. This meant war. Over the next few months, I got really friendly with Jay, flirting outrageously with her and basically pretending like I really respected her and that we were good buddies. It took me a while to work my way into her trust, but once I was there, I knew I could catch her stealing and prove it. We wasted off a load of Christmas chocolate products that hadn't sold, and I put them in a bag to be put in the bin. Jay said we should take them home because they were just going to waste otherwise. This is against company policy and seen as stealing. We stood underneath a camera just outside of its range, so I said, I don't want any, but if you want them, you can have them. And put them on a trolley just inside of camera's range. I had studied the camera angles in great detail, preparing for a moment exactly like this. I saw her look at the camera, down at the trolley, and back to the camera before walking off to get her stuff. I warned my colleagues not to take any of the chocolate, even if offered, and had an evil grin on my face, which my colleagues commented on. When Jay came down, she nonchalantly picked up the bag as if it was her shopping, offered chocolate to everyone, and walked out the door with it. The next morning, I came to my shift and put on the most somber face possible as I approached Travis. You should check the cameras on the back door at approximately 10:21 p.m. I think you will find what you see very interesting. He asked me to explain further, and I looked over towards where Jay was and looked back. I can't go into further details right now, but I would strongly suggest you go and look at the cameras for that time now. Travis begrudgingly walked off to do just that, and within 10 minutes, Jay was called into the office and her bag was searched. Within the hour, she was suspended pending investigation, and within the week, she was fired and barred from the store. I got a full apology from the managers who didn't believe me, who explained they genuinely believed it was me and had no idea Jay could have possibly been a thief. They just hit the floor after I explained that every member of the staff knew that she was a thief, but that we didn't feel like we could do anything about it. After going around asking people if this was true, I got another apology. 6 months later, I was offered training to become a team leader myself. I took it but ended up quitting for a white collar role in a different company before I finished my training. This story tells us why it's so important for the companies to take feedback regarding leadership from the ground level employees. If it can be anonymous, it will be much better. Revenge is dish served very cold. In my early 20s, I moved to a new city to try start my career and life. Money was very tight, but I was confident I would get things up and running. In my job search, I came across a promising opportunity at a small firm. Instead of offering me the job, the owner said he would like me to come in for 2 days and work. If it was fit, they would hire me, and if not, they would pay me for the 2 days. Money was so tight at that time, I figured taking the bus to and from the job was a luxury I could not afford and walked an hour each way to get there. Money was very tight. I did good work both the days and worked very hard, but it was not a fit. The owner then tells me, I know we said we would pay you, but it's just too complicated to set you up for just 2 days. So you'll just have to be happy you got the experience with us. The way he acted really rubbed me the wrong way. I was mad as I really needed the money, but as I was trying to find a job and I figured it was not in my best interest to make waves as word may get around, I was difficult. I did, however, decide that someday, some way, I would get my revenge on the owner. I did find a good job that led to a great career, but I always kept tabs on the owner, looking for the time and place to get some revenge, and even a few times considered some more juvenile methods. Just short of 20 years passed, and now I was a very senior in my chosen profession, but instead of working for a small firm, I was a leader in a very large national company that hired firms. As it turns out, we had a large contract coming up that I was the lead executive on the procurement team in the area the firm operated in. Things have changed a bit over the years, but bidding on these contracts was at the firm's expense at the time back in the early 20s. However, to safeguard them from wasting too much money, the bidding would be in stages. Well, sure enough, the owner and his firm put in an exploratory bid. They were not perfect for the job, but they could actually do it. So I assisted them moving to the next stage and the next stage and then the final stage. The easiest thing I could have done was shut them down right away and got a bit of revenge. But they were qualified, so I did not do that. There was some risk in letting them go through to the end. Though I was the lead, it was a team decision, and to be honest, if they had the best proposal, despite my thirst for revenge, I would have voted for them. The proposals and the presentation came in, and luckily the other firm was a bit better, and we went with them. Normally, the executive lead didn't deliver the bad news in the bid process, but I volunteered to take on the call, and that was my little dose of revenge. It was fun to call the owner, who had no idea we met 20 years ago, and tell him we were impressed with your proposal, but it is not just the right fit. I know you must be disappointed to not get the contract, but at least you got great exposure to our process. I know I should have used his own words from 20 years ago, but I could not bring myself to do it. The firm must have done 200 hours of work on their proposal, So I figured that was payback for my 16 hours with 20 years of interest. OP, you are such a kind man and a man of integrity. You chose to help them go through stage after stage and just hope that they would fail on their own. If I were you, I would have at least told my experience with him and their firm before giving bad news so that they can know karma comes for everyone. That's all for today, tips. Tell me which story you liked the most and what you would have done in their place in comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe.